Thank you for joining us on the Music Roundtable, where we attempt to chat about all things music. We are your hosts, Kim, Clint, Lyle, and Vicky. Please sit back and get into the music groove with us.
Right? 100%.
Don't overthink it.
No, just do it.
Just do it?
Just do it.
All
We're
right.
going to fly by the seat of our pants on this one.
Okay. So
Because this is all your research. So.
this is all mine.
Because
Yeah.
we know of grunge. We can help you with grunge. We can talk about grunge, but we didn't do any research. So let's go.
Let's go. That's me.
This will be fun. You did all the
That's my
research
usual.
on this.
Yeah. We're talking about grunge, I guess the history of, and a little bit more.
Whatever comes up.
What is grunge?
What is grunge? Is it the stuff in your sink?
So
Under your nails.
Under your nails.
Ew.
Musically speaking, not under your
musically
nails.
speaking, the term actually started in 1965.
Oh.
Really?
That's when it first,
Those
In
were
reference
dirty
to
times.
what? Right?
yeah.
In reference to what, though?
Yeah.
Like what?
What brought that on in
Yeah.
1965 that there was grunge? Who was it?
Who was it?
He doesn't know.
No, I don't know.
So much for the research.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, you keep talking. I'm
But that
gonna
was
see
when
if
the
I can
term
find it.
first came.
It was
I
a
wanna
very,
see,
very
yeah.
dirty
But it
thing.
actually started.
Apparently.
That's when we heard the term. But it really started in 1985. So that was the early development of grunge.
Yeah, I was going to say
Oh, it's a slang word for dirt or trash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say it was.
In relation
Much-
to music, though.
I was going to say it's
Yeah.
much like heavy metal coming from
And then the
Steppenwolf
Wolf
from the one
record
song
label
or whatever,
called
Heavy
Sub
Metal
Pop,
Thunder,
used the
and
word
that
to
Yeah.
refer to
stuck for
rock
heavy
bands
metal.
from Seattle.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it was bands like Neil Young was what they were saying, Elvis Costello, like the Stooges, like the weird, not quite, because punk hadn't really come yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so punk was more of the late 70s. This
Yeah,
is
'cause
more
it's-
like the underground stuff, if you want to call it.
The bands played a mix of fast punk and slow heavy metal.
Yeah.
It's what at a certain point in time would have been alternative music. It
Yes.
didn't fit. It didn't
Correct.
fit the pigeonhole of everything else out there. That was back at a time where it was you had rock, you had R&B, you had country,
Yep.
and then you had this other music. Well, what do we call this? What do we do with this?
Correct. So basically what grunge is it fuses elements of punk rock and heavy metal with the distorted electric guitar sound used in both genres, as well as bass, drums, and vocals. So it was
Interesting.
just the garage bands, basically. And then
Sorry.
grunge broke through.
It's like I found it. I found
Yeah,
it.
me too.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
What
The
was it?
1965 debut, a reporter used it in the New York Times. Is that what you found?
Yep.
A slang
Yes.
for a dull date or an unpleasant person. It comes from the older adjective grungy, which means dirty or grubby. So by the late 1980s, that's when they started using it. So it
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't really anything to do with music.
No.
Well, I don't know if you
Yours a
found the
little
same
different?
thing. Yeah, it says, so the first printed use was 1965.
Yeah.
Music
was-
critics like Lester Bangs occasionally use grunge to describe raw garage style rock in the early 70s.
Yeah.
First recorded instance of someone using the term to describe their own specific sound was in 81.
Yeah.
When Mark Arm, then of the Seattle band Green River, used it to describe his early punk band, Mr. Epp, and the Calculations.
Yeah. So it was kind of a very loose term, I guess, in 65.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. It
Yeah.
took that long for it to actually become a mainstream term.
Well, it's interesting that you brought up is the punk aspect because that's
Yeah.
one of the elements of it.
Yeah.
Is like punk, like true punk, when it came, is very unrefined when you listen to it, and I think where this sense in the grunge music as we know, it's taking kind of those unrefined elements, but actually putting some instrumentation behind it. Like there's actually some melody behind the elements.
Well, yeah, they're saying it described messy, loud garage band rock music. And I was like, that makes sense, right?
Yes. So basically it was the breakthrough of Nirvana's Nevermind that really brought it to the forefront.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought it was Nirvana, but okay.
Yeah, that's one that made it basically, I guess, mainstream success. Yeah, there was Pearl Jam
Well, Pearl Jam actually would have been later
because of Mudhoney and all
Yeah.
that, all the
Mother
cross.
Love
the bands that crossed with each other. Right?
Okay, but
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say already. Yeah, it was Sub Pop Records is what was where I was going to go. That's what kind of brought them up. But yeah, Nirvana is the first one that really kind of had that mainstream success.
In September of 91, to be exact.
So this says Green River is widely credited as the first actual grunge band. Formed in Seattle in 1984, they were the first group to blend punk rock with heavy metal to create the grunge sound. I've not heard of Green River.
No.
So
It paved the way for the big four of grunge: Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, and Alice in Chains.
Yep.
They made the genre globally famous in the early 90s. So that's, I guess, the difference, is they made it globally famous, but the first band to be grunge was Green River.
There you go.
Interesting. Didn't know that. Never heard of it.
I think the first thing is like people are like, oh, grunge is good. I think grunge is really just the natural progression of the music.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the problems with the music industry in general is you have the A&R guys, the record people, who pretty much they kind of dictated for the longest time what sounds were going to be. Like, this is going to be the hits, this is what we're going to do, and they cookie cutter everything. So we'll go into the 80s is when you had the glam metal and stuff like this. That's what people went to. That's what was selling. So then they oversaturated the market. They realized you've got, Poison, and Poison is selling. So they made, 100 wannabe Poison bands come out, and you oversaturated the market with it. So I think what grunge was is at a certain point in time, like, people didn't want these cookie cutter versions of the music.
They wanted something different.
They wanted something different. And I think it was not something like, ultimately rock and roll from the very beginning was always against authority.
It was taboo.
It was always against the establishment or whatever. So the moment you have these, executives that are dictating the way things are and producing and overproducing the same thing over and over, people get tired of it. And even the artists get tired of it. And I think grunge just was really kind of the natural progression of the way the music was moving. And it kind of came out this sound that, for that time, no one else had really kind of...
Well, and it was like angst, right? Yeah. So I think alternative actually hits it on the head. It's just another alternative form of music, right? And there was a lot of teenagers that like, yeah, this is saying what I want to say. Rage rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Well, like you got it there. It's the angst. A lot of it had the angst in it, and it was what people were feeling at the time. And it was something that, at that time wasn't controlled by the record executives. They didn't know what to do with this. No. Like, all of a sudden, okay, these bands are out there. They're dirty. They're ugly. Like, this is like,
They're
what
grungy.
They're grungy. That's exactly it. They're unwashed. Like,
they're causing drug problems. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's the flow. I was like,
Yeah, it's everything I've written down here. So, yeah.
Oh, this is good. Notes.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said,
that's why I said you knew about this.
No
more
research,
than I did, so.
going off the cuff. I'm probably wrong on 100% of it.
No,
whatever.
actually, you're bang on.
But yeah, like, once again, natural ebb and flow of the music industry is, this is just really, no matter what is where it would have gone. It just obviously broke at our back door, being Seattle and stuff like that. They came up with a sound everyone gravitated to because it was different than what was already out there and stuff like this. Like, you're getting away from the cookie cutter molds because, how many times can you see the same acts on MTV over and over and over again? So take, Nirvana's,
Never mind.
Never mind. But that was Teen Spirit, the song.
Yeah.
You take that song, that video came out. People didn't know what to do with it. Like, it was. Like,
yeah, it was a weird video.
It was a weird. It was dark. It was filmed, almost out of focus. Like, like you didn't even know what you were looking at.
No.
It was, and it was different. Like, it had this great beat behind it. And I'm not a huge, like, I appreciate Nirvana. I was never a huge Nirvana fan. I obviously, other Seattle acts, Soundgarden, Mother Love Bone, Pearl
Alice
Jam,
in Chains.
Alice in Chains. I gravitated more to those. I appreciate Nirvana. I think my issue with Nirvana is at that point in time, like, too many people jumped on it too fast.
Well, that's what they were saying was the problem. Is like 91 is when everything blew up, right?
Yeah.
And then by 97, Soundgarden broke up, and that was the end of grunge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, it was a flash.
It was.
'Cause I
but it
remember-
needed to be
I
done.
think so. Yeah, it changed everything up. It shifted everything. Because I remember, obviously, when Kurt Cobain died, and I know we had heard some Nirvana, like we had listened to some Nirvana. We didn't, but from the time that they broke to the time of his death, it wasn't a long time.
No.
And so I don't think we had gotten into it fully. Like we had just kind of heard snippets here or there, what it was on the radio. We hadn't bought the album. I mean, like it was just a different time. And then obviously the other ones hit and we liked them. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
There
not
was
saying
something
I
about that.
didn't like that. I just, for whatever reason, I didn't.
We didn't get into them.
I didn't gravitate to them immediately like everyone else did, and I think it was the oversaturation of them. And like I said, I appreciate the music. I do enjoy Nirvana songs.
Yeah.
I think it was the oversaturation of that band in particular.
At that point,
So like they went, stellar, we'll say. I still appreciate, like I listened to Soundgarden and stuff. I appreciate Soundgarden because they still had that kind of underground element to them. Obviously Pearl Jam came up through the ashes of Mother Love Bone and stuff. That one I kind of gravitated more to. So obviously, I got Pearl Jam albums. I got Soundgarden albums. For whatever reason,
that's what I'm saying. For some reason, we never bought them.
I never really went into Nirvana. Bought it for my child, but never, never really went fully into Nirvana. Like I said, once again, I appreciate it. It just wasn't my thing. What Dave Grohl has done in the aftermath with the Foo Fighters is amazing. Yeah. And as a person, like I've seen lots of things from him. Like Dave Grohl's awesome. Like multi-talented instrumentalist.
See, all this information is just
sitting
like
in my
I'm
head.
like,
I know.
I did all this research about it because I'm like, I wasn't a big fan of grunge, so I didn't really know a lot about it. And then doing all this research, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah,
we love grunge in this house.
Well, I remember hearing Pearl Jam at the Leopard concert.
Yeah.
For the Adrenalize, and they played the whole thing, and I was like, actually, this is pretty good. Who is
Well,
this?
it's funny because Pearl Jam, you are the one that got me into Pearl Jam.
Yeah, and I had to go find it because I'm like, this
good.
is really good, and I bought the album right away.
Yeah.
But
and then
Nirvana, I
Temple of the Dog, I
forget
really liked
that.
too.
Yes.
But I remember,
And like going down the list of bands like Soundgarden. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Nirvana either, but I know like the bigger hits,
them,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, Temple of the Dogs, Foo
Love them
Fighters.
all.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised how many of them I knew.
You're like, I do know grunge. What?
Yeah, I do.
I remember TK buying Soundgarden,
Yeah.
right? Bad Motorfinger.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is terrible. Because I was still into that. No, because I was still into I guess if you want to call it now, back then you wouldn't call it the hair metal stuff.
Yeah.
Those were the bands that I really liked.
You hadn't switched yet. Yeah.
I hadn't switched yet.
Yeah, and I think that's
That
because
was, and then by the time
Grunge changes you.
grunge came in, by the time grunge came in, grunge was already out.
Yeah.
Like in 2 years, they already had copycats.
Yeah.
yeah.
You had all the southern bands like Stone Temple Pilots and all them, right? And then, it was just
And
over
I think
before
that's
it
one of the
even
things is I was much like you is I was more into the glam metal, the hair metal and stuff like that. Like that's what I grew up with out of the 80s and stuff. And that's why I also think this is the natural progression. Like I think regardless the music would have gone this way, it needed to be taken away from the controlling hands of the music industry.
Yep.
I think that's what it did. I think when glam and everything kind of fell apart because it was oversaturated. Once again, so all of a sudden this other thing, and they obviously they did try to grab onto it and do it again or whatever, but it didn't have the same effect because it's just like this has to be against authority. It has to be it has to be something for the kids to rebel against.
Well, it's not unlike Motley Crue when they were coming up through, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. They were young guys trying to make it big, no money, making ends meet as best they could, partying all the time. Grunge was no different. These were young guys, no money, living together in bad areas of town, trying to get somewhere with their music. So each incarnation, yes,
Yeah.
that's the word. No matter if it's rock and roll, grunge, heavy metal, whatever, all of them have the same origin story.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm going to look at it. Because even Elvis Presley would have the same origin story. Nobody wanted that music, and then it happened, and it changed everything.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was all gospel before then.
Yeah.
Right? We would not have anything if they hadn't changed out of God. We'd still be singing hymns, guys. Come on.
But every genre's got it, like what you're
Yes.
saying. Like the Beatles playing all the places in Germany and
Yep.
Rolling Stones.
Well,
and you
yeah.
got Zeppelin that does the same thing. And then you got the punk of the late 70s
Yep.
from England. Like,
Which is a whole nother thing.
but that's the same thing as grunge.
yeah, the godfather of grunge.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Yeah.
And that's
It was the angst and against this
Against authority, yeah.
against this authority or whatever. Like ultimately, kids gravitate to the music. I feel for my kids because I like all music, but kids gravitate for music because they want something to speak for their generation, and you can't speak for a generation if it's controlled by
The adults.
some white guy in an office saying this is going to be big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never going to fly. The kids make
Make the choices, make the
the
music.
choices.
Yeah.
Like the true artists come in, make their music. If people like it, great. And it goes that way. And obviously the kids liked it and it expanded this way. Obviously record executives come in, this can sell. Put out 100 units of a different band. Like,
They try to monopolize on it. And it doesn't work. Well, because and half the time they don't want what the kids want. They don't like what the kids want.
Yeah.
It's just all of a sudden it starts to sell, and they obviously
they
see
have no choice.
Yeah, they have no choice but to change their ways. But they also go, ooh, money, right? So
yeah, it's always money.
Yeah.
It always comes down to money. But, for the short time that it was there is, that generation had a voice.
Because it was more our generation, I guess, Gen X, because we were all listening to all the 80s stuff, and then it had to break.
Oh,
Like you're
yeah.
saying, it had to, and this came up at a perfect time, and it's kind of that.
well, because we would have
I
only
think
been
not
like,
necessarily the new generation, but they were starting to like it more.
what were we, like 20?
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
graduating high school, right?
Yeah.
So
It was the perfect time. It was great.
And then it birthed so many things from that too. And I think like this starts going into the new metal and stuff like this is once again, for the longest time, you always, pigeonholed it. There was R&B music, rock music, country music.
Oh, like in the record store, you'd go and there's like 4 things to choose from. You're like,
But it was always that is you were either this, or this. Well, now you got these people that have grown up and you've listened to all of it.
and they had a baby.
And pretty much the new artists come in and, I'm going to take elements from this and I'm going to take elements of that and I'm
Yeah.
going to mix it in a blender and this is what I'm putting out.
Yep.
So like you get the new metal ones. So all of a sudden like rap started coming up and it was a big thing. Well, why don't I take my heavy music and put a rap dialogue in it? So all of a sudden you're getting the birth of things like Linkin Park and
Yeah.
stuff like this, which is a mixture of a heavy metal band with rapping in the middle of your songs.
And they really could almost be grunge. If you look at them,
Yeah.
the way that they sing, the way that they play, like, yeah, I could feel grunge vibe in there.
Well, yeah, it's angst driven and
Angst
stuff.
driven, yeah. And punk, yeah.
well, I remember like going to the record store, and it was always alternative.
Alternative. There was so many in
But
alternative.
that's what it was called when we were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was
because
no such
they
thing.
didn't know how to categorize
They
it.
didn't
It was like
Yeah.
hair metal was just
Yeah. Yeah.
rock,
It's just rock, yeah.
or heavy metal,
Yeah.
which wasn't really heavy metal.
Because now there's
But-
pop, metal, rock. They've separated them all out. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that is not pop. Because like the ones that were heavy metal for us are now calling pop. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
yeah,
Who set this up? This is wrong. But
We're not allowed in record stores anymore because we would start organizing.
This one goes there, and that one goes there, and this one has
But I
no
think-
business being here.
Oh, wait, I should backtrack this. So record stores are a store where you had physical media.
Right?
there is one.
We still have
Sunrise-
A records.
Sunrise
Sunrise
Records.
Records.
Sunrise
Yeah.
Records.
I
It wasn't
remember
all
when we
Sam's.
had like 4 in the mall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the main reason to go to the mall was the
I know.
record stores.
Malls suck now.
Mall is a place where multiple
We're reading definitions now. This is what this is.
Well, because we don't think about it. It's like we grew up in all these things.
In a physical universe rather
Yeah,
than
like-
a digital one, right?
Yeah, so there was a physical place that you went, and it was away from your parents, it was away from your house. You got to go and hang with your friends, where there's all these stores which had all these things. You had no money,
No.
but all these things were
This
out
is
there
where
for
you
you.
hung out. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a thing called an arcade, so instead of sitting at home
You did the
you're
same
playing video
thing.
games, is you would pay money to,
To
play
play
video
them
games.
Was it $2 for an hour? For the one?
Well, it was the
Nintendo?
Super Nintendo,
Yeah.
yeah. I used to do that when you were working,
Yes,
yes.
sir. I always knew where you were.
Well, there was an arcade beside Creative Music. Anyway, that we used to hang out.
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
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 Good
I was saying, you
times.
either went to the arcade or you went to the pool hall on Friday nights.
Yes, the
Yes.
pool hall. Ah,
Well, pool halls were usually, you had to be certain age to get into the pool
That's
halls.
true.
well, didn't we have to be 18? Yeah.
Yeah, you had to be certain
Yeah, the
age
one
to-
right beside
Okay, so
London
we went
Drugs.
to,
Gotham.
yeah, exactly.
Gotham City.
Yeah.
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 That one was good. I liked
Yeah.
that one.
Anyway.
Yes. We digress.
Back to the topic.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I got to come back to all these kids living at home. Get outside. There's a world out there.
There's a world out
Totally.
there. Can we go back to you saying Dave Grohl is an awesome human being?
Yeah,
Why?
let's talk more about that.
Because you know he had a scandal recently, right? I don't think he's an awesome human being anymore.
Okay, well, I just...
Great musician. We'll
Great
put it there.
musician.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, fair. I'll say he made a huge mistake, which also brings him down on the scale of being an awesome human being.
Okay, sorry. Well,
Are you,
he's the devil in Tenacious D.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll change.
I was just kind of like, I was like, wait a second.
Okay,
Did
sorry.
you forget about the scandal?
Well, I don't follow scandals.
Oh.
I'm
But
yeah,
Well,
I'm
his
back.
wife,
We'll do
his
this
wife
then.
and
How
him are
about-
back together, or staying together, which I was surprised by. But yeah,
all right, so we'll do this then.
okay.
How about
What's
this?
the next one?
So, at the end of '93, grunge had become unstable.
Yes,
Okay, and was starting the first stages of being killed off.
that's pretty early on.
Yeah, it was quick. That's why I said the scene had become so successful that imitators had begun to enter the field. So basically, what killed grunge? There was 2 things. So first was Cobain's death in '94,
Yep, that'd be a huge thing.
and then Kristen, I can't pronounce her last name, but she was Hole's bassist, and
Oh.
she died of a heroin overdose in '94 as well.
There was a lot of drugs in the.
There was. So basically, that was the start of grunge's demise. And then basically, once they said the end of grunge was when Soundgarden broke up in '97.
Well, I mean, that was pretty painful.
So now,
It's like no.
once that hits, now we have all these other post grunge bands.
Post grunge. That sounds like a
Yeah.
cereal.
Well, it was interesting because they called it scrunge.
Scrunge. I think I've heard that before.
Yeah. So they were like, I think I was more interested in that music.
I'm sorry, Hootie and the Blowfish are not anyway grunge.
Come on. They said Nickelback's first album was grunge.
I could see some of that.
That was Canadians' version of grunge.
Yeah. Finger 11, okay. Foo Fighters, sure. Weezer, yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, you've got Foo Fighters in grunge and post grunge bands.
Yes.
Because
Why?
isn't it because of the timing?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Because they were,
Came kind of like at
well,
near
yeah,
the end
because
when-
Kurt Cobain, and then he started because he had to do something. He said he was going for a drive in Ireland and he saw someone wearing a Nirvana shirt. And because he couldn't come to grips with the passing
I
of
see.
Kurt Cobain. So that was kind of the, okay, I guess I got to do something then. And that's when he formed the Foo Fighters. So,
I gotcha.
yeah. So it was kind of during the grunge era, but started, yeah. So, but then a lot of those like Silverchair, well, we saw Tripping Daisy.
Tripping Daisy.
Yeah.
Tripping Daisy is, I could kind of see where they're getting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candlebox Live, 3 Days Grace, Finger 11.
But yeah, some of these I just don't agree with. But
No, and then there was obviously Blur and Oasis from England. That's when they got big after the post-grunge, right? They were in the post-grunge era. So,
do you think Garbage?
I would
say Garbage.
Okay, see, garbage is an interesting one
There.
in many aspects because one of the artists on the band was actually the producer on the Neverman album. So he has elements. Garbage is just an interesting band.
They're an interesting.
Like
yeah,
that's
like
one
them.
I haven't seen, and
No. We should though because we really like them.
I'm upset I haven't seen them. They're interesting elements because obviously they have that, and Shirley Manson, their singer, is actually classically trained singer. So it was always an interesting element.
Have you listened to Garbage?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's always an interesting
No.
element.
Oh, they're very good.
I find like once grunge ended,
Yeah.
we had a lot of one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
Music changed because it was some of these artists were pretty mellow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Days of the New was acoustic band, and they were post grunge, and you had Collective Soul it was different.
Yeah. I guess so.
But now when I listen to those bands, I'm like, that's just normal. That's just rock. Like,
yeah, well, I think that's the thing. Is it's actually the term grunge and its timing and everything is. I think once again, you're trying to classify something that you don't necessarily have to classify that way. I think all of it was the natural progression of the music.
It's just all alternative.
It was just where
That's the easiest way to classify it.
where the hair metal and the glam metal was oversaturating the market. Something had to change. That change was grunge. That grunge, as short-lived as that aspect as people view it, was like short-lived. It's just a natural progression, and this is the way it expanded out. What I think it really did is like you can't control the music. You can't oversaturate it because the moment you do that, that's when it implodes, or that's when you lose control over the music. And I think that's what grunge was. Is
No control.
it was no control. It was the fans for once kind of having a voice of what I want to listen to.
well, because it killed
Like
hair metal.
It did kill it.
Like,
yeah.
but there were certain bands that changed.
Yeah.
From one album.
yes,
Yeah.
We've already mentioned that just recently was Def Leppard and Bon Jovi. Those
Yeah.
two.
what wasn't in this podcast? It was in
Yeah.
the previous podcast.
Previous podcast.
Yeah.
Whereas those changed,
Yeah.
but they did what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And people listened to what they wanted to listen to, and they didn't care.
Yeah.
So
We'll listen after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just looking through the song list or whatever of Garbage, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I might know that one.
You
I'm
might.
not sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
but I
I
think
was
that was
wondering what you were doing.
but that was the thing, right?
She
I
was the
think
ones- yeah.
after grunge, really, you can't define
There hasn't been a
music
huge
now.
No, there hasn't been a
No.
huge hit of something different.
There's like metal.
Well, there's
death
Taylor
metal.
Swift, and then there's everything else.
Yeah, like there's death metal. There's alternative, like there's rock and hard rock, and but there's not really
A new genre.
genre. Like
yeah.
80s was hair metal, one hit wonders. There was, that was interesting.
I was like, what the hell was that?
Somebody's out there with a
motorcycle?
chainsaw.
But yeah, it was.
Motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
Some dirt bike.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's good.
Doors
Whereas,
open, neighborhood.
like we had hair metal,
Yeah.
grunge era, briefly,
Yeah.
very brief
Very brief.
Yeah.
in musical,
But
terms.
lasting.
But lasting, yes, and a lot of. Now I listen to it, I'm like, oh, that was a good song. That was a good song.
There's so many on there that I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, but now you've got, like you said, Taylor Swift or Nickelback is still huge. But
Yeah.
a lot of the bands, that was it. Like none of the hair metal bands. Now they're coming back and they're just
Yeah.
playing what they already recorded.
Yeah.
But
They're like lounge
Yeah.
acts.
Lounge acts.
But a lot of these bands
John
even
Bon Jovi would disagree with you.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I remember like Motley Crue and stuff like when they're coming back to
gotcha.
me, they're kind of like falling into that because they're not making really new music. They're
No.
they're just off their old
They're
stuff.
just
riding on the
playing-
coattails of their previous.
Yeah.
but a
so
lot of
pretty
even
much.
the post grunge bands. Yeah, you got Foo Fighters that are making
New
new
music.
music. A lot of the grunge ball, I guess, Pearl Jam is making. I don't even know if they've come out with anything new.
Yeah, they
I thought
been
they just
releasing
did, didn't
albums.
they?
Okay, but it hasn't been not mainstream, I guess you could say.
I was gonna say,
So it's that.
we do have to talk about the Pearl Jam, Temple of the Dog, Soundgarden, and if anything, just the sharing of Matt Cameron.
Yes, he's played
Oh,
with
yeah,
every single
there-
band, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark Matter was the last one for Pearl Jam in 2024.
All right. So, because you've got Pearl Jam, but before then you had
Mother Love Bone.
Mother Love Bone. I forget the lead singer's name now. That passed away.
I thought Clint knew
I know it.
I was gonna say I was waiting for him to rattle it
So-
off because
because he always
Yeah, I
talks
know.
about Mother Love Bone.
Which then that went out to form Soundgarden.
Was it Andrew Wood?
Yes. Yes, it was. Good job. Which then formed the other two bands, and then
Yeah.
Temple of the Dog, and then the drummer that's played with Pearl Jam, and
Matt Cameron.
that's played with almost everybody.
Yeah,
And then,
like
yeah.
I
So they've
think-
all played together. They all knew everybody. Like Alice in Chains knew the guys from Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam knew the guys from.
yeah.
Well, a lot of them are
But
roommates.
they're all-
different everybody,
they all played. Yeah, and they all played in their own bands.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things is like a lot of people always go out, and it doesn't help that you have all these music competitions and stuff like this. Everyone always thinks that other artists are against other artists. What was cool about the Seattle grunge scene is, I'm almost gonna say they were all a family. Like they
they all played with each other.
They all had the same struggles. The
Yeah.
thing is like I said, they go and see this show, that show ended. All of them, fans, the artists, they all went and partied together somewhere else, or they went to see the next show, which was the next band. And and then while you're doing this band, you're bringing up this guy from stage, and we're all playing together, and you're doing things. In the sense of, so going to Mother Love Bone, Soundgarden, Chris Cornell and Andrew were actually roommates. Two different bands, but they were actually roommates. They all lived together. Another thing that would have been birthed for the whole grunge scene was also the Cameron Crowe movie Singles. And a lot of these artists were actually in that movie because it was literally talking about that scene of music and how they were all interconnected and they were all a family and they all kind of did things together. And some of the things they did was unfortunately, the drugs, and the drugs, changed the situation too, because we lost many members through that. Like part of the reason grunge didn't necessarily get there is not all the people of grunge survived.
Yeah.
No.
Through the birth of some of those is, Mother Love Bone, just as they were about to sign and hit it big, their lead singer died.
Yep.
So now you have a label, a band, and no singer. And they, found Eddie Vedder and they brought him in. And, once again, the help of other people around is you had Temple of the Dog form. So you had literally members of Soundgarden and the members of Mother Love Bone and, the singer of Soundgarden, Chris Cornell, and this new guy, Eddie Vedder. Brought them all in just so you could get the feel for the thing. They released Temple of the Dog, and it got that. And then from that, Eddie gets with the people from Mother Love Bone and makes Pearl Jam. And Pearl Jam came out, and Pearl Jam was a hit. Like I said, that you're the one that got me into Pearl Jam. And, that was all kind of birthed out of it. But at the same time, they're all together. And at that time, Pearl Jam had their own drummer. Things happen. I don't exactly know what happened, but I know at certain points in time, like especially when Soundgarden broke up and stuff like this, the drummer needed somewhere to work. He started work with Pearl Jam. So next thing you know, like they're having, reunion albums or new albums and stuff like this. And Matt Cameron's on every bloody album of everybody in the Seattle scene. Excellent drummer. So, hey,
Good for him.
good for him.
Yeah. That would make touring difficult.
It would.
Yeah.
And well, that's actually what they did is you kind of record with this one, but I'm going on tour with this one.
Yeah.
And then when he's doing this, like, yeah, he'll go make an album or he'll go on tour with the next one.
He was always busy.
He was always busy. My phone was always ringing on that one. But it was just kind of neat to see that it's this tight community, and they took care of themselves. I'm sure there was arguments and disagreements on that thing, but they took care of themselves as a whole scene, and that's why it was always the grunge, the Seattle grunge scene, because they were all there. It was all of them, and it's no different than Sunset Strip for the '80s music.
Yeah.
Same thing. All the bands, Motley Crue, Poison, Rat, whatever. They all
converged in one
They all
place.
hung out in the same 4 blocks. And literally partied from here to here. It's just, I think in the '80s it was play some music and party, whereas in the '90s when the grunge came out, it was more about the music. Like there was still the partying. That's where we lost them with the drugs, but there was a lot more of the music.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like the 80s, sure, they did all the drugs and stuff like that. Yeah, there's one person from Rat, the guitar player, that passed away, but it wasn't, it would be to drug use, but to AIDS. And Nikki Sixx died once with, thank God he came back from a heroin overdose. But that was the thing with this small scene, I guess, the drug use. Because you had lead singer Andrew Wood, he passed away from his heroin, right?
Yeah.
You had Kurt Cobain, that whatever he was suffering, and we don't know exactly what happened to this day. We still don't know. He passes away. Then there was another heroin overdose with Hole's bass player. And then even later on, there was Lane Staley, who, sure enough, heroin overdose, I think, or something along those lines. And then Soundgarden's singer.
Suicide.
Suicide.
There's a lot of suicide.
And Stone Temple Pilots lead singer.
Oh, yeah, he was right messed up.
Like
Scott Weiland. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever they were going through and whatever, whatever they were going through when they started, it just kept going. And that's what created that rebellious, I guess, the same punk and same scene, I guess, right?
You know what I didn't see on the list was Hole.
Oh, no, I forgot to put them on there.
Oh, okay, because Hole was definitely grunge.
Oh, grunge, 100%, right? So
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So there was all that, which you could say started the newer music, because there's still elements of that.
Yeah, well, like I said, once again, I think it would have been like whether we had what you called grunge or not. I think it would all still would have been natural progression of the music. The music would have gotten there regardless. I had a great. I think I was going to say no. I forgot it again. Seems to be happening a lot. OLD is not for the weak.
Welcome to the club.
I'm just going to pop something in here that I just read, which is very interesting to me. Black Hole Sun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Have you ever been to Volunteer Park in Seattle? I know we have.
No.
No, I don't think so.
So it's like there's pipes and all this, the artifacts and stuff like that. So the park features the Black Sun sculpture. It is widely believed to have inspired Soundgarden's hit song Black Hole Sun.
Interesting.
So the park.
I can see that.
What the park is that it's actually really cool.
It's a
What
really
the
cool
park
park.
was, it was an old factory was on the site, and obviously they took the building down,
But left the pipes.
but kept some of the parts of the factory intact and literally built a park around it. So you're in the middle of this nice green space. It's a beautiful place. But yeah, you have machinery, like actual
Interesting.
machinery that's
Yeah, I
in the
don't think
middle
I've
of the
been there.
park.
I'm pretty sure that's the park. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. And then there's, because you can also see where Sleep is in Seattle, the floating houseboat was. And then a little bit further down is the troll under the bridge,
Total under the bridge. Is
holding
cool.
on to a VW bug. So. But yeah, the Seattle scene is just very interesting. And period, to me, it's because it's close to home.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. It's
Yeah.
close to us, right? So,
Yeah, so you can go on a little tour and drive to all the places, all the locations I was just looking at. So it'd be interesting, honestly, to go and hear a different band in the venues that made these people, or were part of making them famous. What were they? There's the Central Saloon located in Pioneer Square. It's considered the birthplace of grunge. Bands like Nirvana, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains played early gigs there. The off-ramp, now named El Corazon, I guess that's how you say it. This club was ground zero for the movement. Pearl Jam and Nirvana both played some of their very first shows on this stage. The Moore Theatre, Seattle's oldest operating theatre, hosted early shows and served as a video set for acts like Pearl Jam and Soundgarden. And then Sub Pop Records, the independent record label, and the Terminal Sales Building marketed the grunge label to the world. So I was just thinking, like, that'd be really fun to go, like, experience those venues, even now, with a different band.
Yeah. Well, I'm making for the Demolition Derby I'm involved in, I'm doing the set list. So some of the songs are grunge.
Yeah. Well,
Because I
that
know
makes
that
sense.
They
It would
fit.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, obviously my music tastes have changed to the point now where I'm like, yeah, just sounds normal.
Sounds normal.
It is. It's just.
Well, we've
that's
listened to it for so long.
Yeah.
I think so, right?
It's just part of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember what I was going to say is one of the things is I think what also was very powerful for it is obviously the struggles that the artists went through facilitated what they wrote. So, you know, they weren't rich guys, you know, just partying and doing whatever. Like these were, you know, working class, you know, artists struggling to make it. And it comes through in their writing, in their music, in the way it comes across. Like, and I think that's what was so powerful about it is you got this opportunity to kind of see a glimpse behind the curtain and see what they were about. I think, you know, unlike the cookie cutter music, like, you know, formulatic music or whatever is you gotta have this kind of this, you know, it's a guy, you know, sitting in a room, literally talking about his pain, talking about suicide, because there was a lot of suicidal songs and stuff, but just that general angst, and it appealed because there were so many kids that were feeling the exact same things. And I think that's where, like I said, the records couldn't control it because they didn't know what to do with this music.
So you're basically saying grunge was a very depressing era.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it was.
It was.
Yes, it was.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
It was very
It was dark.
raw. It was, you know, playing a gig with one light bulb above your head, kind of dark, grungy.
It was like the poet cafes where you're just like,
Right?
Yes, actually, but
That's
it
what I
is. It was
feel.
like
Yeah.
spoken word.
yeah.
It was very much so, and like I said, I think that it was very powerful. Like I said, you know, before people would just like, I'm going to write about girls, or I'm going to write about cars. I'm going to write about
They didn't really talk about relationships in
no,
that
they
sense.
And
No.
feelings
this
and-
music
Yeah.
came out, and it's just like, I'm depressed,
Yeah.
and I'm literally telling you, I'm depressed.
I am good. I have suicidal thoughts,
Yeah. Yep.
right? And even some of them, obviously, years later, it still was there, and they couldn't.
And for those of you having suicide, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
At the end of the tunnel. Seek
Not
help.
that light.
Not that light.
Stay away from that lane.
Yeah, stay away from that lane. Well, before we wrap up, what was your favorite grunge band? Who's your favorite grunge band? Now.
Oh, now?
Yeah.
Where's the list? I might say Pearl Jam. That
Mine will probably go to Soundgarden. Just
because I love me some Pearl Jam. Let's see.
Yeah, that's probably the one I would go with because I think I know
Yeah.
most of their songs compared
Yeah.
to others.
And I really do love, but Temple of the Dog is a hard one because it was only one album.
Yeah.
But I really, really do love Temple of the Dog. Soundgarden too. Like I would go Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, and Temple of the Dog. I know you said one, but I just
That's okay, because mine was Pearl Jam at the start of the grunge era, if you want
Yeah.
to say it, but it's turned into Alice in Chains. So.
Oh, I do love me some Alice in Chains. Yeah, they're very good too. It's hard. That's why it's hard to pick just one. Like out of that list, I could probably tell you easier who's not my favorite. But no. Please do.
Yeah.
Who's not my favorite?
Who do you like the least?
The least. Oh, okay. Maybe it wasn't as easy as I thought. Maybe
Probably Soundgarden
take it
for me.
back.
Soundgarden would be my least favorite.
really
Really?
that hurts
Soundgarden.
a lot.
I just didn't like the style of music, I guess you could say. Sing amazing, but
See, I'm going to just say the Melvins because I don't know them enough. Because I like the Foo Fighters, but I don't think.
Yeah, there's a few that I don't recognize the names of the bands, but I
Yeah.
probably know one or two of the songs.
Yeah. So maybe even like Silverchair.
Oh, Silverchair is awesome.
But if I had to pick like my least, like
Yeah.
if I had to go to the shelf and pick a album off of there, I probably would not navigate to Silverchair or what was the other one I said? The Melvins off the. I would be like going even Temple or not Temple of the Dog, but Foo Fighters and Alice in Chains for sure.
Yeah, Soundgarden, Nirvana for me were probably my least favorite, but yeah.
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 But
Vicky.
Least favorite? Couldn't tell you.
But you
Like I
like
said,
Pearl
like I said, I
Jam?
mean, like I said, I remember that's the band that I feel I'm most familiar with.
Yes,
So.
for sure. I think so too.
Not that I don't know songs from the other ones,
No.
but again, it's just the hits, right? I didn't delve into the grunge era very
Very
deeply.
much. Yeah.
got a few albums, but that's about it. Like
Yeah.
one-offs, like Pearl Jam's first album, Alice in Chains, the EP, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I'm surprised I don't have any Alice in Chains. I appreciate the music. I love the song Rooster.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
I stay away.
But I have all of Nickelback's.
Absolutely. Got to.
I obviously have my Soundgarden albums, and I guess it's a good thing I didn't do because I was going to actually, before this, I was going to have the Soundgarden playing on.
That's fine. Like I'll listen to it, but it's not something that I would own probably.
But like I like sound like I followed Chris Cornell from Beyond
Yeah.
Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Like, did you,
all
Audio
his-
Slave.
Yeah.
Did you listen to Audio Slave?
Yes, I liked Audio Slave.
Yeah, Audio Slave's good.
That's why I said vocal-wise.
Yeah.
Vocal-wise, I'm fine. It's just the music. It wasn't. There's just something different about it. But
Yeah.
yep.
That hurts still. That still that's my bias because obviously it's a band I
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yep.
Jesus, Soundgarden has a lot of albums.
They do have a lot of albums. There is a lot of
Wow.
Soundgarden was huge in our house when the kids were teenagers. Like it was, we had Soundgarden playing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. It's very good.
It's a little more than I was expecting.
Anyways,
Anyways.
with that, we'll catch you on the B-side.
Thank you for joining us on the Music Roundtable. Please like and comment where you listen to the podcast. And make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter and let us know what you'd like us to talk about. Until next time.
Hey there, music lovers. Did you know that getting licensed to share music online is not just the right thing to do? It's also super important for supporting creators and the music industry. That's why we're proud to be licensed by SOCAN, a copyright collective that grants licenses for online music broadcasts in Canada. By getting licensed through SOCAN, you ensure that every beat, every note, and every melody that you play is compliant and fair to the creators. Join us in supporting the music community. Visit SOCAN's website at www.socan.com and get your web radio, podcast, or any other use of online music licensed today. Let's stream beautiful music together, legally and ethically. SOCAN. Music, people, connected.